Hi, this is Kate. Welcome to In the Studio with Kate. It's week 16 of year 2 of my ongoing weekly series where I invite you into my studio and talk about what I've been working on. And so this past week, I continued to do a little bit of the daily morning drawings to get my creative juices flowing. And I've got 2 to show for you this one. Let's see if I can. Sure, we're up there. I liked the way she turned out. She was really a fast drawing for some reason. And then this one I was trying to profile picture. At that point, I kind of decided I was spending more time on a morning exercise than I really wanted to be spending. So this became my art for the day. So trying to what do I want to say? Trying to just do something a little bit different this time. So I went out with my journals a couple times this week. Here's some birds that I've done. This is a cardinal and then the raven that I did. I'd like to do a whole lot more. So we're working on working that into my schedule. One of the times I was out, I was at a restaurant and out the window was this building. So I chose to just do a little sketch of part of it. I needed a much bigger sketchbook to do the whole thing. And then I was at a breakfast meeting with some friends, and this was a couple of people off in a distance who were having a conversation. So they're kind of 2 wonky old ladies, but they're funny. And then the ladies I were with were knitting, and so I drew their yarn and their cell phone. So those are the kind of memories I have of that time now. So that was sort of fun. I've been doing more work with the Abstractify course I'm doing, and this time exercise was about going outside. But the day that I was going to work on it, turns out that we were having a snowstorm, so I was not going to be outside. So I chose to look out through my window and record the scenes that we were supposed to record. So in this case, these pieces have oil pastel and maybe it's just a little bit of graphite. The idea is to see what kind of marks you can make and capturing a scene. So this was a scene outside my house, mostly snowy looking, a few buildings. I found that, and so I did 3 different ones. Let's see if I can get this page a little bit easier. From different windows in my house, okay? So here we are out, big tree in the backyard, snow fences, hay bales, off in the distance. I had fun doing this one. This one I think is probably my favorite. This next one, I found that after doing it a couple times, I was much more expressive with my marks. And so this was kind of wild and crazy with all the color and silos in the background. But I thought it was real interesting is as I continued to do it, I became a little bit freer in my expression, which was a great exercise to be partaking in. The other thing that happened this week is that I got a little surprise birthday present. My birthday isn't for a couple weeks, but I got these. They're made by Fine Tech out of Germany. Their website is finetech.pearl.com. Anyways, they are Pearlescent watercolors. Aren't those colors pretty? I thought they were quite pretty. They're going to be kind of fun to work with. But that was a nice little surprise gift. I love getting surprises when you're not quite expecting them. So that was kind of fun. So that's kind of the work that I've done this week. Some observations that I've been having. Dealing a little bit with the inner critic, as we all do pretty much on a daily basis. Wasn't able to get to any art yesterday, and I have scheduled the whole day in the studio today, so hopefully I'll be able to get to some of the projects that I'm working on. And so I spent the last evening, maybe about an hour or so, just cleaning everything up in my studio, you know, so all the work surfaces are clean, the floor is clean, you know, things are put in their place so that when I walked in here this morning, there was a clean slate. It's like almost having a blank canvas to work with. Some of us have a fear of the white page, but I usually don't have that particular issue. I do feel more uplifted if I come into my studio and it is in a disaster zone. And I've been known to work with papers all over me, or all around me, and still manage to work. But when I'm struggling a little bit, I think setting the stage makes it easier for me to create. So doing that last night was great, because if I would have done it this morning, it would delay a whole lot of things, and I wouldn't have had that same feeling. So one of the little notes, I sometimes put things on Post-it notes and I put them all over my studio. And sometimes then I take them all down. But one I used to have up here was, when in doubt, tidy up. And it kind of applies to the studio really well. It's like when you're stuck. I mean, a couple of things that I'm working on, I'm kind of like in that stuck phase. Like you have that great energy in the beginning, and it's going really well, and then you get to teenagerhood, and it's like angsty, and you don't know what to do next, and you just look at your piece, and you go, and you know you don't want to work with, but you have to get out of teenagerhood. Teenagerhood's not the fun time. You want to get back to adulthood, and sometimes in pieces you just have to push on through, and you'll get to that. Know that you'll get to the other side. I'm sure you all have the same similar experiences in creating your own art, that there's this little hump you're getting over, and once you get over that hump, and you really do let go a little, let go of your expectations of what you think the piece is going to look like, to what it ends up being. And I think a perfect example for that is this piece I have. And do I have it? I didn't plan to show it, so it must be stuck someplace else. I'm going where? Oh, there it is. I know it had to be in my studio somewhere. This one I showed, this first layer, everybody really liked it, so it was cool, and I felt like, oh, now I've got all these expectations, because it was a background, and there's going to be so many layers on top of it. There's supposed to be a figure on it. The figure that okay, so here we are right now. I kind of think she looks like she's escaping from a forest fire, and I'm thinking I might work with that a little bit. In intuitive painting, for me, sometimes it's like I get these cool things in the background. Okay, this is the original, okay? And then I'm trying to repeat that over on this side, and of course it doesn't look the same, or it doesn't look like I think it's supposed to look like. And is the figure's arms too long? Maybe I want to do somebody different on top of her. Maybe I don't like, it just, the mind keeps going and going. And so every time I look at this, I go, I don't like where we're at. I don't know where to go. So I don't work on it. And that's a perfect teenage phase for me. It's just like, oh, when I was doing that figure, I thought, well, she looks really cool. I like how she came out of the background. But now it's like, now what do I do with her? Okay. And I think that paintings all have those kinds of experiences. So I just got to push on through, see what's on the other side. Might end up covering that whole figure. I don't know. I think sometimes that's for me at least, the maybe hazard of showing something in process, like your first layer, because, oh, people might really like it, and you think, well, maybe I shouldn't do any more. But, I have to shut the voices of, oh, people really liked what you had done. but that's not what you're planning to do. Just let go of that. So I guess studio day today will be all about letting go. So hopefully by next time we talk, I'll have some progress on some of the pieces I've been working on and be able to share a little bit more. So that's all I have today. Until we meet next week, I hope you have some time to get into your studios or whatever place it is that you create art, and just see where the music's going to take you. Let go of your expectations and just create for the fun of it. Until then, let's all go out and make art.